Welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. Promised this a while ago, just haven't had a chance due to a whole bunch of things, part of which you can kind of see behind me. The wall's taped off with some plastic because our headquarters is going under some construction due to zombie breakout. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's better to be zombie-proof than overrun by zombies. So, we've got an unboxing of the latest Dice Masters starter set. This is the Amazing Spider-Man. I've played a whole bunch of drafts so far, played with the dice. I've actually opened up my brick and gone through the dice to get a good idea of what to expect. This set has been actually really interesting overall. It's got a lot of new aspects to it. But, you know, we'll discuss that on the website. The thing I really wanted to go is show off what is actually in the starter set and talk about the starter set as a whole. Dice Masters is a game, you basically build your team of dice. You do 20 dice, split between 8 characters. You can use any characters from any set. So what's kind of fun is you can have characters from like Spider-Man with X-Men, even DC characters, Dungeons and Dragons, Yu-Gi-Oh! They all have sets. And you can intermix them. So it's really fun in that you can have all these different worlds working together. The Spider-Man set's the latest one to come out. It's got a starter set, brick, collector's box, foil packs with the brick. Pretty much everything that you get from a normal set. The set's actually interesting as it has, of course, a lot of Spider-Man characters. There's some X-Men characters in it, and there's some Guardians of the Galaxy characters in it. Overall, the set has been pretty interesting for the reason that it introduces a lot of new aspects to the game. There's things like allies now, and underdog, which is a... they're interesting concepts, I think, overall. Basically, allies usually kind of help you out when you bring stuff out. Underdog is if you have fewer characters than your opponent. Basically, the game is you roll dice and you put characters out and you fight. It's kind of a deck builder meets Magic the Gathering, I think is the great way to describe it. The starter set, you get 2 dice bags. I'm loving the fact that Wizkids is now putting art on the dice bags instead of just the generic covers. So we've got these 2 with some pretty sweet art out on it. This one's from Spider-Verse, and this is just some other Spider-Verse stuff with Spider-Man. The set, I will say, does really well with going over and taking characters from the various Spider universes. It does, I think, a really great job. Dice for the game kind of look like this. There's usually characters on it with various numbers and then kind of power while you roll around. So you roll the dice and then you use the energy to either buy characters to go out and battle or do some other stuff. But the big thing is what's in the cards. In the starter set, you get characters to play with, plus what's known as action cards. Action cards help you kind of do powers, attacks. I don't know how else you would describe it. If you play Magic, there would be like permanents, I think is a great way of describing it. You get one nice little list of all the cards in the main set. The basic action cards we'll come to later. But let's go through the characters that you get. So for Spider-Man fans, you get White Tiger, who is a hero. White Tiger, dice is 0, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 5. The cost of 4 is, when fielded, you may sacrifice another character to give this one +3 attack until end of turn. Sacrifice characters go to the use pile. She does have a global. You pay the Fist energy once during your turn. Each player must field a sidekick from their use pile if able. So that's actually kind of cool, so you can get sidekicks out. You can also do that to basically use up your opponent's sidekicks and force them to take damage by not having enough dice, which is always not a bad strategy. The 3 is when fielded, you may sacrifice another character to give this die +1 attack, +1 defense, and overcrush until end of turn. Sacrifice characters go to the used pile, so not bad for 3. And then finally, we have just a basic 2. No abilities whatsoever. Next up, we've got Spider-Woman, who again has 3 cards. Her stats are 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, and 2, 3, 5. For cost of 4 is 1 blocked or blocking. Both Spider-Woman and characters she's engaged with are KO'd at the end of the combat. Her underdog, you may use this effect when your opponent has more character dice in the field than you do. She gets +2 attack. Then finally, when blocked or blocking, you may pay 1 fist to give Spider-Woman +1 attack, +1 defense until the end of turn. That's 3. So the first one was 4, and the next 2 have cost of 3. It's not bad. We got a lot of offense so far, which kind of makes sense. When I think of Spider-Man characters, I think of a lot of offenses. We got, of course, Spider-Man in there. The first one's cost of 5. When the stats are 1-3-3, 1-4-3, and 2-5-4. On the lowest stat, he gets a star. So when KO'd, gain 1 life. If you have the stars, instead gain 2 life if you have another spider character in the field. You can play, Global has a pay 1 energy, lightning bolt energy. Target character die gains the Spider-Man affiliation this turn, so you can pay die and then gain 2 life is kind of the move. Next for 4 is when Spider-Man attacks, he gets +2 attack until end of turn. And then instead all of your spider characters get +2 attack while attacking. And then global, you can pay 1 to target character die gains the Spider-Man affiliation. So very offensive card. And then finally, we've got one for 3. It's an underdog. Spider-Man gets +1 attack, +1 defense if you're the underdog. So again, a lot of offense on that character. Next, we got Silver Sable, a character you haven't really seen a lot of in comics in a while. I think she's dead. I don't remember what hell happened to her. But if you're in the 90s comic fan like me, you knew Silver Sable. She was kind of everywhere. Her dice are 0-3-1, 1-4-2, and 1-4-4. For a cost of 5, when Silver Sable attacks, add a die from your bag to your prep area. If it is a sidekick, Silver Sable is unblockable. It's pretty cool. Underdog, Silver Sable is unblockable. And then another cost of 4. When Silver Sable is blocked, a defending player loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So again, we've got some playing with life. You saw that with Spider-Man. Some things about attacking, very on the offensive end of things. So far the heroes are very offensive-minded, which is pretty interesting. Next up, we've got the Kingpin, of course, classic Spider-Man foe. His dice are 1-3-5, 2-4-6, 3-5-7 for cost of 6, which is pretty hefty. When Kingpin attacks, when Kingpin takes damage, move a sidekick die from your used pile to your prep area. For cost of 5, when Kingpin takes damage, deals the target opponent 1 damage. For cost of 5, when Kingpin takes damage, spin him up 1 level. So kind of beefy for a character. A lot of more, I would say, defensive in a weird way. Or at least you're going to want Kingpin taking damage. So, the fact that he's got a toughness of 5, 6, and 7, maybe you're going to want to play with him a little bit on the defensive end of things. Interesting character. Kind of pricey, though. I'm not sure I would use him a whole lot. Next, we've got Ghost Rider. His dice are 1-2-3, 2-3-4, and 3-5-5 for cost of 5. When Ghost Rider is blocked, you may sacrifice Ghost Rider to draw and roll a die. If it is a character, field it for free. Otherwise, put it into the used pile. When Ghost Rider is blocked, you may sacrifice Ghost Rider to deal 2 damage to target character die or player. Sacrifice characters go to the used pile. And for a cost of 4, when Ghost Rider is blocked, you gain 1 life. So again, we have a lot relying on attacking and blocking and stuff like that. So it seems to be a theme with a lot of the characters in this set. As I said, not all are really Spider-Man characters. We've got Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. His stats are 1-2-4, 2-3-5, and 3-4-6. For cost of 3, you may pay 1 life to field Drax for free. For cost of 3, Underdog, you may field Drax for free. And then a cost of 2, there's just nothing on it. So out of all the cheapest characters, Drax is one of them. So not that bad. And then finally, we've got another villain of Carnage. Carnage costs of 6, 5, and 5. Another pretty hefty character cost. His stats are 1-3-5, 2-5-5, and 3-7-6. For the 6 is when Carnage deals combat damage to an opponent, you may put his die on an action card. If it costs your opponent double to purchase that action die, Carnage's die may be removed by effects that remove action dice. Interesting. One way to shut down action cards. I mean, action cards, at least where I play, are pretty key. A lot of magic missiles flying around and items like that. So that could be pretty helpful. We've got Overcrush for the 5. He takes no damage. Takes no more than 1 damage from action dice, so that's kind of useful. And finally, while Carnage is active, when an opponent uses an action die, Carnage deals them 2 damage. So a lot of action die focus on that one. I imagine we're going to see a lot more action dice focused cards as series come out, considering it's become a huge part of at least play where I'm at. Next, we've got the basic action cards. Each starter set comes with a whole bunch of basic action cards. In the game, you play with 2 of them per player, and their abilities. Each player can pay in dice to get these cards. So, of course, you have to think about what you're going to want to use. So, first we got with Great Power. Cost is 3. Spin all your character dice up 1 level. If you roll 2 stars, instead spin all your character dice to level 3. Web Blast action, deal 2 damage to your to target non-Spidey character die. Underdog, instead KO target non-Spidey character die. Spidey character die. True Believer, target character gets +2 attack, +1 defense till end of turn. You can pay 2 mask energy. Once during your turn, you may remove one of your characters from the field zone till end of turn. One of your characters, okay. Spidey's Last Stand, we got sacrifice a character to draw and roll 2 dice. Slander. This one costs 2. Target opposing character loses its ability text until the end of turn. This could be a key one. Pay Fist when when fielded or when this character attacks ability damages you, deal 1 damage to target opponent. And then we've got Great Responsibility, costs 5. Sacrifice a character to KO target opposing character. And then 3 is Exposed. A target opponent must pay 1 life for each non-Hydra assigned to block this turn, or you pay 2 energy. Target opponent must pay 1 life to block with 1 or more characters. You may only use this once per turn. Next we get Betrayal, which is interesting enough. Has Gambit, Mr. Sinister, and I guess Xavier on the back. This one's 4. Deal 1 damage to target opponent for each character die in their field zone. If you roll 2 stars, if Betrayal dealt at least 2 damage, put this die in your prep area. And then we have Back for Seconds. This one's also 4 for Underdog. Field any character from your used pile at level 3. Finally, Arch Nemesis. It's a basic action card. Target character die you control and target opposing character die deal damage to each other equal to their attack. Excuse me. Global, pay a shield. Target character has D equal to its attack until end of turn. Could be useful with some other cards. So that's basically the basic starter set. I do recommend when folks are starting off, absolutely get a starter set. I think they're well worth it. You know, they're the easiest way to really start the game and know that you've got some dice to field a team and start going from there. But yeah, I mean, overall, I love Dice Masters. It's a game that I try playing regularly. They're very, very active, at least in my neighborhood, and I get a lot of fun with it. So this has been the Amazing Spider-Man starter set from Wizkids. It's out now in stores. Go get it. Fun game. If you're a comic fan, this is one I recommend checking out. So thanks for watching. This has been Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. You can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Till next time, thanks for watching. Keep rolling those die and keep it geeky.